Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again, another edition of the Hitz Africa's best political show over the weekend. It's Sunday. I'd like to welcome all of you. The time is just gone past or coming up to about 8:45. I believe all of you are well. We're here for the very burning events as we head towards, the up and coming general election 2024. Now, the good thing is, Bawumia is in the country, and this has questioned my views over the fact that what are we supposed to be looking up to? Not too long ago, Mr. Bawumia himself, or Dr. Bawumia, sorry for that interruption. Dr. Bawumia himself said something about the fact that he's not going to have what we call what Nana Addo Akufo-Addo as leading us with. The question has actually been, why has he not all this while corrected Nana Addo Akufo-Addo? I'm here tonight, and I'm here with my one and only Odupon. Odupon, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you very well.
Excellent. It's another weekend, and then it's another week is on the way already.
Yes.
Any particular thing you did this week?
I lost my phone.
Oh no, sorry. Don't worry. Bawumia would get us one.
Oh, that would be fantastic. 500 million.
And I'm best one is that Dr. Bawumia. People assume, sir. Well, he might have had the excuse that he's not the leading president those times until now that he seems to have come as face off with the leadership and flag bearership of the NPP. But then Mr. said, if Nipano is ready, to lead us, how can he how best can he advise Akufo-Addo, since it's just the assistants, and then when it comes to what Akufo-Addo himself wants to do as a leader?
Very interesting question, in the sense that there's team leadership, and if you are running in an organization at all, there's always going to be a leader, and there are always going to be people behind the leader.
I can hardly hear you. Okay, go on. It's not your fault. Go on.
Yes.
I'm listening.
As I was saying,
Chairman, hold the line for me, please.
There's what is called team effort.
Okay.
Any organization at all you are a member of, whether you have a management committee or you have board of directors or you have presidency, you are part of a team. So if the team is going wrong, you cannot come out as, you can't take yourself out of the team because you've been part of the team. But you can't voice out if if you are not being listened to.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if your advice is always ignored. And you have the right to, voice it out. But if you don't, and wait until, last last minute show. I'll put it that way. Then, how do you think people will trust you? How do you think people will value what you begin to say? So this is the problem Dr. Bawumia is going to have, because he's been part of the Nanado's economic management team. He's been part of the government, and he's played a very important role in the government. So, well, let's hear what the others would think about it.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Chairman Yosin. Good evening, Almighty Segabu. Good evening to the rest of you are watching from home, and those of you on the other platforms. Let me start off with Chairman Yosin. Chairman Yosin, our country, looks as if he's taking a wider scope and a wider dimension when it comes to views that people would, adhere to when it comes to leadership. I mean, Bawumia is in the country, and obviously he must have responded to a few media questions privately and publicly. I'm sure if you should meet him personally, or you should have a personal encounter with him, what is the first question you're going to ask him? Anyway, good evening. You're live on, and welcome everyone to the NewsFile UK. Chairman, you're live on air.
I'm saying good evening to Gabo, everybody else who is listening to this program. You have asked the question. Dr. Mahamoud Bawumia is kingdom. And that's what as one has it. I'll ask you one question. What was being tackled with what compared the management of Ghana. I think his answer would be, I don't know that
Chairman, today your line is breaking. I don't know why.
Real point.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the reception, whether it's where you are. Oh, yeah, but yeah. Are you home?
Free.
Yeah, your line seems to be broken.
By now,
no, it keeps breaking up. I don't know whether it's where you are. It started off fine, but now it seems to be breaking up.
I can hear.
Okay, you go on. You go on.
All that I will say, ask or suggest.
Oh yeah, now the line is fine. Yeah, the line is fine now.
What? Yeah, or the Republic of learning of this political arena in the world. It is happening. It is Nigeria is being questioned. Like is being questioned. They are what to manage the country. You're going to do to improve. There's no but to go and practice in Ghana. That's the greatest eminent people, sensible or wise men and women in our parliament in Ghana, Ghana would be a happy place because God. But I went to the station in Stratford. I made a statement, and nobody's seen Dr. Morton. I'm on the station, and nobody. There was a call in the house to respond.
Chairman, I think I would have to. I think I have to add you again. I have to call back your line again because it keeps breaking, so that I get on with the next person, and then I'll call you back in a few minutes. Thank you very much. Segabu, good evening. You're live on air, sir. Could you hear me, Segabu? No, I can't hear you too. I think it's the number of people I've added on the line, I think.
No.
Segabu, are you there? Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. But I think where you are, the background, where you are.
There's a noise coming from background noise. Okay, is
it
okay now?
Yeah, it's fine.
I can hear you. Now,
okay.
Mr. Yosef. Okay, but again, your question have compelled me to last week again. That I did not the adjective this he asks you this is effort. I'm wondering anybody could ask. That would be he's always looking for that is now I hope this I can hear you. I can hear you also. Okay, yeah. There's one thing that one I'm good even for this.
Good evening.
It is that we promote Ghana. We since independence we are the act. I will for what you have needed. It is based I wonder
your line has started breaking too. I think maybe we'd have to make sure we get everyone to Skype, because the Skype then everybody will feel comfortable, because when you add the number of people on the radio on the phone, it makes it very difficult to hold, but we
after we are off yes.
Yeah, I'll add all of you back and see that whether and adding you in a second time. it'll oh dear.
Mr.
Or maybe I'd have
told that you should soon and follow the flag. So as one at a time.
Yeah, maybe that would be better if I call you on a real line, and then everybody will listen.
All of us.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that.
Back out until we find.
Yeah. I'll do just that. I think that'd be the best option. Anyway. Okay. So let me end the call and then call you one after the other.
Okay.
Right. Go on.
Yes.
This is where we are. Our country needs our help and ideas. What Bawumia says, Nanado he himself has another drastic means of running the country apart from what we seems to be going through. I'm not sure he wants to say that we are not, applauding Nanado with this best way of leading the country.
Well, that's what I said earlier on. If we're going by the norm,
Yes,
in this society,
yeah, Chairman, 1 minute, please.
In this society
right,
you belong to, it has a leader, it has leadership, it has a structure.
Okay.
And we lower no more. Why are you too high? Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to follow the structure of the society. As advice, I'm not sure your advice will be totally thrown away. So really, it makes it difficult to come out at a certain point and say, what? Are you not part of it? Or what are you saying? I am part of it, but I was ignored. And if you were ignored, why all this time are you now telling us that you were ignored?
You don't think it's necessary?
It's not necessary because you've been part of it. So it is better to accept the faults of all and, signify that maybe you've learned from the what is going on before, and you can bring a change.
Okay, that's fine. Good evening, Chairman. Back again. I think now we're on a one-on-one issue. So let us hear clearly what you had wanted to say earlier concerning what you'd prefer to ask Bawumia. Should you have a personal encounter with him?
Yeah, I would prefer to ask him what he's going to do to ensure economic growth in Ghana, because his party or the government in charge for the past almost 8 years have done nothing to contribute to economic growth. And in fact, I must explain, economic growth brings about prosperity, happiness, contentment, security of the individual human beings.
And careful planning.
You see, careful planning prevents pathetic performance. How carefully has Dr. Bawumia planned to make Ghana a better place? Because for the past 8 years, we have not seen any progress in the country. And it's very dangerous. It is very serious. Very dangerous and very serious. Right now, the priorities of the government of Ghana for so many years is about extending Greater Accra, bringing prosperity to Greater Accra, and they have not succeeded in doing so. And we have rather made the villages and the towns and all that worse off than since Nkrumah was removed. Worse and worse and worse and worse. And we are not getting anywhere. We are not getting anywhere. We are concerned about Ghana. We are not concerned about politics. Politicians will come and go, but Ghana is still there. And we are not doing anything to help Ghana. I went to the airport. To the airport. And guess what I saw? Ghanaians in wheelchairs coming to the United Kingdom for further and better treatment. Why? The people in Ghana, they go and buy oxygen. Dr. Morton, would you fancy going to King's College Hospital in the United Kingdom? They tell you to go and buy oxygen. I've never heard this language before. Today in Ghana, when you are unwell, even though they know you are dying, they say, go and buy oxygen. You buy oxygen, and they keep it and they take it to your private clinics. And what? Because we're not stupid. Why should patients be buying oxygen? Why has Ghana government not purchased this oxygen for patients? That tells you a lot, that the government of the day does not care. Whether it's MPP or CPP or NDC, doesn't care. And it is not good. And yet we are going for general elections. Yet we got, people to go on the street to support. Barely. They know. They say they are backing the wrong horse. Yet they are supporting because a member of MPP, because a member of NPP, NDC and all that. We are not questioning we are not putting them to question. We are not questioning them as the United Kingdom is being done here. They put your back on the wall for you to explain. This is what we want to see. The same thing, copy it into Ghana. They can even relay whatever question they put to these politicians in Ghana television. That is Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, not Kennedy Japan's private television or whatever. In Ghana, so many TV stations there. They are all politically orientated, which is very sad. It's not good. It does not enhance or create economic progress at all. It's very dangerous. You see, I fear that the TV station is all politicized. And so, if you haven't got money to operate a TV station, nobody will listen to you because you are from party A or party B. So when will this thing end? When will proper progress come to Ghana?
It's very sad. It's very sad.
It's very sad. It is very sad. I sat on the tube with some significant personality.
Chairman, you have 2 minutes.
Sorry?
You have 2 minutes, please.
Yes. And this gentleman, I sat in the tube with him a few hours ago because we attended church in Westminster. He is, or Mahini, has arrived here for a special reason, on a mission. And he was startled to see the things he has seen in this country since he's been here for about 2 weeks. We want progress to go to Ghana, but how to go to Ghana would need a different line of thinking. So, Dr. Morton, this is what I will submit. Let us charity begins at home. Why don't we begin from our homes? What is in our home? What Dr. Bawumia comes from Bolga, I'm not sure whether Bolga or Tamale. What is there? And how can he make the life of the people of Tamale or Bolga better? If you are able to do that, you can extend it to Accra, to Volta region, and the rest of the regions. But these things are not happening. He knows he comes from a very nasty background in terms of development. There's no the development in North Ghana, generally speaking. So what are you going to bring onto the table? We don't want beautiful buildings in Accra alone, or Kumasi, or Takoradi, or Cape Coast. We want proper progress in his own backyard. If he's able to do that, then by the grace of God, he will have the wisdom to extend it to Techiman and all other places and Tapa and Bukoso. This is the greatest worry of all the Ghanaians. That's why to finish, if you listen to Nkrumah's speech after independence, and especially before the Republic Day, he said, listen, I immediately gave us the independence. I rolled up my sleeves and started to power. That's why I brought Akosombo to give power. He said we needed industry to give power to industries, which he was doing. and this man commissioned Akosombo and all that. Within a few weeks or so, he was removed. I remember that that day. Do you understand? Yeah. We want people who think like Kwame Nkrumah. It doesn't matter whether it's Buzia or JB Dankwa or Kuvado's father. It doesn't matter. As long as you're a human being from Ghana, what are you going to bring differently?
Yeah, very
to
important.
Ghana?
Very important.
We have seen so much. That's all I'm asking.
Very important.
See, I'm praying to God that wise people will come to Parliament in the next year. Wise people, and I have to confess to you that my article is based on wisdom. We want wise people to come to Ghana Parliament. You will see this article within 2 weeks. Wise people are the people we need to serve in the Republic of Ghana. If your brother, your sister, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or whatever is not wise, please ask him or her to stop. Don't go and fight to go to Parliament, because we will blame you in the end. We want Ghana to be much better. We can be better. I met some people in Angola. I want Switzerland. If I don't know, if I've told you, I was in Switzerland just last week for a family funeral, and the man I sat with is from Guyana. Used to be called British Guyana. It's from Guyana. He was a top medical surgeon. He came to Geneva for international conference. We had good discussion.
All right.
And I asked, sorry?
Yeah, your Mambadu said Gabo, the rest are online. So Chairman, you have just a few seconds.
The problems in Haiti, the man raised it up. The problems in Guyana itself, the man raised it up. The problems in Ghana, we all got similar things.
I can tell you're really heartbroken, Chairman. You know, you talk very passionately with this, and then
anybody who attempts to do politics is not doing Ghana any favors at all. Right now, where we have reached, Ghana should have been much, much, much better than so many of the developing countries. For how long are we going to continue to develop? I don't know until the world comes to an end. No, sir. I want us to do better. I say, send my love to Mambidu.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me get to say Gabo, and then I'll look at what he has to say as well. Thank you very much.
Gabo is a Methodist, so he might do the decent thing and come and join me.
All right.
We want Kushinum to be the next
great. But Joe wants him to join the NDC.
Oh, no. Let him come and join the PPP. we are waiting for Segabo. Once we get Segabo,
all right.
I'll be very happy.
All right.
Good evening, Mambidu and Segabo.
Thank you.
Will join.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Wopon, you had the chairman himself, Mr. Fastidios. That's how Segabo calls him. And that he wants everything to PBBA, pepe. And so you heard from the man, the household man.
Yes. Careful planning.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Finishing, Gabu, Almighty Gabu, Chairman says, I think you're getting quite a few invitations to join the other platforms. And Joe wants you NDC. Chairman says you should join the PPP.
No, they all know that it is as highly impossible as the former President Mahama would win this year's election. It is as impossible as it is that Mr. Mahama will win this year's election. It's not possible for me to cross carpet. I'll always be with the MPP, and I will defend the MPP to the health.
Even
now,
if they are wrong.
Coming back to my earlier submission, I'm saying that Mr. Kitty, even when you asked him the question, he was saying that the question you asked was a near perfect question. It tells you the degree of excellence. He wants something perfect. So I never describe him as Mr. Fastidious for nothing. Now, coming back to how he was asking whether Dr. Bawumia was learning, I think, yes, Dr. Bawumia has learned too quickly. And out of his diligent studies, he had come with the Ghana card, have the mobile money interoperability. Today, you can stand in front of your door and Uber will come and pick you up. Dr. Bawumia has brought about digitization of the Ghanaian economy too quickly, too fast to Ghanaians. When it comes to the digitization of the Ghanaian economy, Ghana comes first among most African countries. And I know for sure that instead of Mr. Wilson, Mr. Kitty Wilson asking Bawumia whether he's learning something from England here, people rather from African countries will come to Ghana and learn. They will learn from RBB government how we have succeeded in digitizing the Ghanaian economy. No one can quantify the volume of businesses and services that mobile money interoperability brings to Ghanaian business. It has expanded the business in the country. It has contributed a lot to the gross domestic product of Ghana's economy. You see, the growth rate in Ghana's economy, no one can underestimate the benefits of what Bawumia has done for the country. Even when he's still the vice president. Even in the Monday world, it is said that new king, new law. Bawumia get a seat as he's claiming. In the steering wheel, he's driving the Ghanaian economy. He's a man who can lead us to the economic El Dorado we are all looking forward to. Even as vice president, not with full authority and full power. Look at what he's done. So if the man become president, we cannot imagine, we cannot quantify what he can do for Ghana. That is why I wish to urge all Ghanaians to ignore the NDC's propaganda. They are talking about 24-hour economy. It is bogus. The NDC's 24-hour economy is not economic policy. It is just an economic outcome at best. It is an output. It cannot be an input. It cannot be a policy because we don't see the process. They cannot even explain that. And the famous German scientist says that if anybody cannot explain anything simple enough, it suggests that that person does not understand what he's talking about quite enough. Albert Einstein is saying that if somebody cannot explain anything in simple terms, it means he himself does not understand what he's talking about. He doesn't understand what he's talking about. Today, if you see the NDC communicators on radio stations, on TV stations, you find them floundering. They keep on floundering all over here and there. We cannot see a single NDC communicator who has been able to explain to Ghanaians, who has been able to persuade Ghanaians, not even the president himself, the former president himself, who has been able to persuade Ghanaians what a 24-hour economy means. You see, let me tell you something. In Ghana, I used to write a lot of pamphlets. I write economic pamphlets. I write English pamphlets. I write social studies pamphlets. One of the reasons why I left Ghana and I came to live in this country is that I discovered that when they changed the JSS, the A-level, I was an A-level economics teacher, an examiner too. When they changed the system, and we bring in SS students, after a while, studying the system for about 3-4 years, I could see that the market value for my goods in Ghana were dwindling, and therefore you could not see any future. The SS students were not people you can rely upon that who buy textbooks, who buy pamphlets to read as a reading book to pass the exams. A-level students were buying books. I was selling my books in Takoradi, in Kumasi Street. I was everywhere. Segamo was everywhere, selling books. And my books were hotcake. I bought a lot of lands here and there and that. It was a hotcake. Looking after my nephews and nieces, helping them. You know, it was because there was market. As soon as I discovered that there was no market, I said, no. I better leave this country. I left. You know, listen. You think
things has been better?
Well, I think it's you see, you cannot quantify it. You cannot quantify situations and events. You just not quantify. You see, one cannot predict. If I was still in Ghana, well, I was given a lecture appointment, but I decided to come. The rest is my own personal view. But sometimes you cannot quantify things. You cannot predict what will happen to you if you are still in Ghana. So we still take it as time and space we will provide. Now let me say this: it is not the president who's going to tell Ghanaian industrialists that you're going to work. I'm going to tell you're going to work for 24 hours. If you're a businessman or you're doing business in Ghana and you have market, you don't need any president to tell you that you must run your business 24 hours. You don't need any businessman to tell you that. And at any rate, the economic model of a government coming in to run economy it is outmoded. It's not happening anyway. It is not the government who provide 24-hour economy in any country. It is an invisible hand, as Adam Smith said. It's a private individual who employ the 4 factors of production to engage in business. And when the business is succeeding, it is he who decide whether I have to run 24-hour shift. If you build a hotel and pay, we have a lot of people, customers coming, you're going to have morning workers, night workers to come in to run into the business. If your hotel is not attracting people, you're not going to employ workers in the night. So it is not the NDC government that's going to tell Ghanaian industrialists that you're going to do 24-hour economy. And what baffles me is that how can we can see a government.
You still have 4 minutes because today I'm giving everyone 10 minutes. That's so you can have time to talk enough. Yeah. Okay.
If somebody, a president, a government could not even run one company in Ghana, thinking $35 million, he couldn't even run it. The Commonwealth Sugar Factory, and then he's coming to tell you that he's going to run Ghana's economy 24 hours. It is ridiculous. And I'm wondering who are the economic advisors surrounding Mr. Mahama. We can pardon him. He did his A-level economics. He did economics to A-level. So we can pardon him if he still believes that this can work. It cannot be an economic policy. And there's no Ghanaian economist, whether you're a professor, whatever status you have an economist, who can persuade Ghanaians that 24-hour economy can be economic policy. It is a joke. The IMF and World Bank will not even support you for this. It's not any government anywhere. It's not the business of any government anywhere. You run 24-hour economy. It is a private individuals in a given country, the industrialists, entrepreneurs, who see profit coming. They will run their businesses. It is not any government who's going to do that. And what the NDC is talking about, it is an offshoot, it's an output of the process. And I wonder why they are still championing this. In 2006, now Dr. Morton, listen to this. In 2006, the former president of America, our brother Barack Obama, wrote a book called Audacity of Hope. Okay. Audacity of Hope. And then all the themes in the book, during the Democrats Convention, was talking about all those things. And he told the world what he's going to do, and we all knew what he did. In our case of Ghana, the by force second coming of Mahama, who could be described as the case come again, is not going to happen. Mahama's second coming is now being preceded by a book called Audacity of Deception. Obama gave Americans Audacity for Hope. Our former President Mahama and NDC is giving Ghanaians Audacity of Deception. The 24-hour economy is the greatest deception in Ghana because it cannot be an economic policy. Who can tell somebody that who lives in Ghana, and that's all is that you're going to run a 24-hour economy? Are you going to tell a businessman to start a company and run 24-hour economies? The businessman himself will know that there's market value for his products, and therefore he run. Where is the market? Dr. Martin, we live in Ghana, a country that have $1.9 billion post-harvest losses.
All right, you have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. The post-harvest losses again in Ghana, post-harvest losses in Ghana, is running around $1.9 billion. What does it tell you? It tells you that we have not been able to modernize the agri sector. We have not been able to find market for agricultural produce in Ghana. And there's a time that we have tomatoes, glass of tomatoes, corn, glass of this, pepper, At a certain point in time, you can't find them, and then peppers, the price of pepper become expensive, the price of tomatoes. We have not been able to do this. We have not succeeded in doing this modern Ghanaian economy. You are telling me that you're going to run 24-hour economy and it's a 24-hour economic policy. It is a joke. What kind of economics is this? What kind of economics is this? Who are the economic advisors surrounding President Mahama? And they want to champion this in Ghana. They are not even talking about it. So the NDC says that we should give them the chance. All that they are saying is that Ghana ain't it, so we should give them a chance. They haven't told us what they will do. They have not succeeded in persuading Ghanaians. NDC will be a disaster.
Mr. Opon, and no, didn't see. What I'm not sure.
NDC will be a disaster for Ghana.
Whether is
what they have done is that Mahama has written a book called Audacity of Deception. Whereas Obama wrote for Americans Audacity of Hope. Mahama is writing a book called Audacity of Deception. And we Ghanaians, we refuse to read that book. We refuse to read that book. But there's nothing in that book for our economy.
All right,
big deception. It cannot be economics.
Thank you very much.
And this will be a disaster for Ghana.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving a chance. Thank you.
Audacity of
deception and lies. Deception. Audacity of deception and lies and desperation. It's a desperate effort from NDC. Audacity of deception.
All right.
That idea, if you were to quantify that idea into a book, it will be called Audacity of Deception. Obama gave Americans Audacity of Hope. And I bought that book. I sent a copy to Kokubako.
All right.
I've never met Kokubako. I've never seen him. But because of his sterling performance on Ghana, I bought a copy of the book and I sent it to Kokubako. And according to my sources, he received it. Anytime I'm in Ghana, I'll try and find him and ask him, did you receive Obama's book, Audacity of Hope?
I can get his contact for you. Don't worry.
Okay, get the contact for me, and I'll find out for you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
A copy of the book. Yes.
Thank you.
And this is Audacity of Deception and Lies and Desperation. You read the book. We Ghanaians are not going to read the book because there's nothing in the book.
All right.
And their communicators cannot even explain it.
Thank you, sir.
If they cannot explain, this is from the famous German scientist Albert Einstein.
I like your quote. I like your quotes, especially when it has bearings, especially when it has bearings with the topics. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Zagabu, na juemze watuna kuma swasem.
Ne mentor tant yes say.
That's all.
More fun. Audacity of deception. Oratory.
Yes, maybe That's a Baba rule. Whereas I've been Sabaka, Mambadua, not Betty, no Sabaka. May sure say, when you're very passionate about something, then good evening, ma.
Good evening.
But you're live on air. Did you listen to Segabu, please?
Pardon me?
Did you listen to Segabu, please?
Yes, I did indeed. I did. It's very clear the way you're handling it. We can all hear one another without interrupting one another.
Anyway, you're live on air. It's your turn, please.
Right. Good evening to you all and your customers, especially Brother Keith. I hope that we are all preparing the UK for the expected heat wave. Sadly, many have died across Europe and across the pond. I have commented, I would probably leave quite a number of stuff private, but you asked what will one tell Dr. Bawumia if one had the opportunity to talk to him. Is that it?
I did, yes.
Yeah. I have commended Dr. Bawumia for his selfless hard work and the results achieved so far. You may call me naive or biased, but Ghana has tried in the midst of this economic global crisis. Ghana is not impoverished. We all should admit that we are our own enemies. I will urge all of us, if we find time, just scout through all the regions and see the development and the performance of this government. A lot of stuff is hearsay. If it were true, or if there was an iota of truth in it, these people will be lined up in a court of law. But we are kind of playing some silly games around this election period and bringing up all kinds of, scenarios and situations which are not proven. Let's concentrate and put on our blinkers and look at our country. I mean, the conservative figure is that we are only 30 million. And we can do better and better and better. We're not even up to the size of Lagos. This is Ghana, the whole of Ghana, 30 million. You know, maybe Ghana needs to move forward and say 40 million, you know, after a census or whatever. But what is wrong? What is wrong? It is the way we do things. This is a man who has come in. Maybe somebody would say that, during the Nkrumah's era, there was no digitization and blah, blah, blah. But look at how he has brought up a par with the world. I sit here and I buy stuff for my relatives in Ghana. I buy it online, they deliver it, you know, in some areas, or in some areas they go and pick it up. What else can you say? You go to the hospitals in Ghana now, there are no files. Where people have to wake up at 6 o'clock and pay somebody to look up for their file. There are no files. Most of the information on the files have all been, you know, input into the system. You go from one doctor to one specialist, everything is on the, online. The doctor, the specialist you go to looks and knows where they are with you in your care management. You know, you're looking for money, you don't have to carry it for fear that somebody would assault you and take your money. You do everything online. I mean, this is a big achievement. We don't want to go back to the days of COVID and what the government achieved. But moving forward, what else are we lacking in government? Then what we are lacking in that country is to produce and to export in order to make our, the foreign currency that we tend to live on as though we are Americans, stronger. You hear for some it is good, the pound is 18 cedis plus. For some, it is not good because, buying stuff to sell and all that is cumbersome. What can we do to harden that currency? There was a time that in this very country we are in, this UK, we were buying the dollars for $2.04 at a pound. You understand? Go back to 2008. You want to change dollars, it was all over the place. $2.04, $2.02. It never went down until America did what they do, by making their dollar the currency that is to be used in oil transactions and a lot of global transactions. Many countries is the dollar, and that is where they are. So why do we compare ourselves to these countries as though, we will never get there? We will, but it's determination. If we all had our thinking caps on, like Auntie Martha would say, where is she these days, Dr. Martin?
I don't know. For some reason, I'd send her the updates, but she hardly, calls back.
Okay, Auntie Martha, wherever you are, we say hi.
I miss her.
So, yeah. So this criticism, I love constructive criticism, but Bawumia is not a saint. But as well, he doesn't deserve all these things. What is this? The man goes on stage and says, give me the steer, and it's become fun. I mean, metaphorically, what is he saying? That when I'm in that seat, I will drive. And people say you were there and this was happening and all that. He's not saying that he was going to distinguish himself from anything that didn't go well. But when he's the one in the driving seat, he will perhaps not have allowed ABC to continue. That doesn't mean that he's shirking responsibility for it. You are married and your wife favors the children to eat sweets and you don't. And then they go to the dentist and then what happens? Oh, Dad, your dad, you were there. And how come this and that? You say, look, I was there, but I didn't take my eyes off their health. I did my very best, but now that you have mentioned it and I'm going to take control, things will change. That doesn't make you an irresponsible father, So I know that we are going to the silly season with a lot of criticism. But I will say that Ghana, you have never had any wastegate like you have that, Dr. Bawumia. I don't live in Ghana. I'm not MPP or MDC. I concentrate in the country where I pay my taxes and where I lay my head. And this very country, look at what they are battling with now. You think that Ghana is in trouble? You've heard about the gambling gate, Mr. Dr. Martin?
Yeah.
One person is in the room with the prime minister. hears that he's gone and taking a date for the election. This person goes out with his partner. They go and get friends and family to buy to go and stake for the 4th of July, and they win thousands of pounds. They tell other friends, and they also go and stake, and they won thousands of pounds. And the gambling industry is like, hey, how come these people had a sure date like that? Only to investigate that they are government officials. So a lot of them have taken leave in advance. A lot of them, Rishi Sunak says, until the case is proven, I cannot sack them. But he's in a very odd position. Even if the inflation rate has come to 2% and he's happy, this is what has confronted him. And Ghana has been confronted with a lot of, mischiefs of this nature. We have the NDC. How do we look at them not going to parliament and following a minority leader, one of their colleagues who has been accused of fraud? How do we allow them to spend time outside parliament or in court? They won't do it in this country. No MP will do it. To start with, their responsibility is to go and represent their constituencies, not to go and follow a man who is fighting a case in court for fraud. And the fraud is not his money or his father's money. It is the money of the country. 2.3 million euros, has gone into various places. Even the dead are being insulted in this case. Are these not kind of problems that we should be talking about? Election will go on. What has been done has been done. If they have done well, yes. If there are areas that they can improve, we'll tell them about it. But let's concentrate on the current issues going on in that country that needs to be straightened up. We love a lot of drama. Is my time up?
You've still got about 2 minutes. I'm giving everyone 10 solid minutes.
But sometimes it's too long and we can't say everything. So I'll save my 2 minutes for closer.
All right. Thank you very much, madam. In fact, Gopon, what's in your mommy? I mean, if you look at Sama Okanoa, you might have a different opinion from what she's saying. But the best American is Bawumia. He says something, he's not a saint. But, I mean, is that the same way Bawumia would also expect Mahama to do almost 100% and something excellent?
Well, everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
And this
so about to hold the line for me, Pacho.
And this is why they say it's called democracy.
Brana is changed from democracy to democracy.
Yes. So is the way the person views what is happening and what is happening to them will make them interpret, I mean, if you sat in your home and within an hour in the day, you've got 3 calls coming from Ghana asking for money and asking for things you can't, you yourself, you need to survive here. Then your interpretation will be different.
Okay. Good evening, Sabatu.
Good evening, Dr. Martin.
You bring Boko there.
Boko, Yamani Edini, Ramonswe.
Say Bawumia and to Obebre Calipo.
Bawumia, they were Johnny, even then Conforno was disappointed after Omoya Fly or Krumuha. Omaniji, so Bawumia is coming, and maybe this will be the opportunity for us to meet him. Some of the Ghanaians community. And
is that the disappointment?
Nanka, and then disappointment saying, you'll be having so your baby Bawumia, and then later on of the day, whilst everybody thinks so maybe because of democratic train, any announcement so due to 1 or 2 reasons. Bawumia needed to rush back home this morning. So disappointed.
Yeah, but he's still in the country. He's still in the country, and so it's not going back to Ghana.
The statement they issued from our party executives, and they said, Bawumia, due to 1 or 2 reasons, I was told to come back to Ghana. That's what we had. That's the communicate the release. So for us, they say okay. So one crime will come I didn't know better every such occasion. You tell me, not just that.
Yeah, but you just started off with the excuse for reason best known to us. No, he has to.
That was what they said. That was what they said. I'm just trying to go through and see, if I can find what they put out and read it to your followers to see. But any free say that should have not happened. So we walk at the then Nick said and Casey, but say the current MPP for they have no regard for Ghanaians, they have no respect, they are very arrogant, they do think unthinkable. So it shouldn't be surprised. And many sure say their work and also Kruma there or more catchers only Krumahano say and no any name.
Answer our bedroom, any of them, any of the participants of this program, no, I asked them, say, should you have a personal encounter with Bawumia? I said, my partner will say, Sabatu Bisana.
Meminya Bawumia encounter, Sembe Pen Mebusano.
Aye.
Mebusana about the credibility. I will ask him personally, say, you don't have the credibility.
Now, why not?
Before you even go there, just 3 days ago, when he said there was a election with the leaders' debate, was it in ITV1? I don't know. So who should be? Who said a Christian Mike say, Corbyn Crown no one good prime minister. That has come back to bite him. Yeah, Bushani says, so who is a good prime minister? How about the tournament? Because now can the campaign, you were part of the team, you were shadow minister or blah blah blah. And no Kumano, and then I make us say, already people are fed up with the consecutive already because of Mufri say or more 14 years or more money be to see. And yes, tell me, Dr. Martin, I heard the other colleague was speaking about the inflation rate, unemployment rate. Tell me, the Enya Papa Ukruma. Tell me, the Enya Papa Ukruma. Yes, so they free fair consecutive. Or my too many mistakes, they need to punish them on the pool. And no, money I get future. Those are the some yet. And it is our my inflation rate 2%. Who are my unemployment rate papa? Now you say strong. You two current government also because of one or two things are my India. And when the child would or mania or muya few or more future. And to what would the Yana walk and up the no walker and me bum. I walk say and Romana Dina Baumiano. And yet then I will be record will be record. I will see any. Now and then you cannot match that record. Now see you to amount. Why? You feel say we are important to change Obiana. Officer, are you that important than others? The same call you call when Mama was in charge. You call say the dollar to the city there in your papa. Emma, will you sue worse of when the fundamentals are weaker, the exchange rate will expose you. But we have time, any normal about inflation. I was someone not there. Or no one in the year Samira Baumia Bekujuma Kudija. Inflation any pocketing. And no one was a share. Etienne they will share from your public debt from 122 and the balloon echo 700 billion Ghana cedis. Inflation rate are moving far from 8 and the Modikoya to 54 and I'm the Abamino 25%. And the sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana just 3 days ago, Ghana food inflation, Eastern region, and the boy under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, I see the planting for food and jobs and they are the planting for food and jobs tomato onions in Naya from Burkina Faso Niger. And you are here for me and Parisho. Because who are you, baby papa? And you are $12.16 cities, Dr. Martin. Upon in now, most Muma Yebi, and Tianto Abamamo. Share records here, make the figures I have given it to you. Unemployment and the 16 from 8%. More the 16 upon say, as some opinion or Kasa, and Sana Maybano. So I was oh, and the Bawumia there, which me to you know, I can't be do online, and the which me yes, really now, 8 years down the line, and dear in a year to achieve. Because the record you came to meet, you are not able to beat that record. That means to say, Sagana Fonia Konya 7th December, I was almost to a bit now. No matter what it is. But some will justify what you come. Now would justify current MPP. We're not just a woman who need to be Papa Magana. If you live in this country and you will read all this, or you come out with all this record, the things I've just said, and you explain this to your child, I wouldn't need to hear. Now, our child didn't show no one can tell say, Daddy, Uncle, Mom, you are not making sense. Oh, Baba, who will come or back as I go, oh, go figure out my catcher. Any day about me, number 2 in the bill, dear 3 years. You cannot say that to your child in this country, or one can tell say you are not making sense. But more better you know as you give you so any other platform so now you catch like a man on one day to such a shame. And it's a shame. So I could have asked Bawumia about his credibility issue, because what he said on opposition and they were turning on. And the NDC for you, Bawumia Kasa, ne voices, ne call, ne forum or ne town hall meetings or about dollar. Bawumia was preaching about the economy day in, day out. And Nana Kufuor, the president, then candidate, told us, say, one more economy one yard because we the gono, unya Ted. The Ted now unya the economy no nebi come one yard.
What 3 minutes? And then I'm moving at 10 minutes. 10 solid minutes.
Bawumia, and the free Bank of Ghana as a deputy. So I'm member partner. I don't know no Bawumia any party card, but I know to some MPP for ni be. I trim. And I'm a card man, no Bawumia babadi deti. Bawumia ba no osabe jina oyi economic team a wan na Ghana. And Professor John Mobafo John Mokamu Yawosafo Mafo Alantra Martin, name it. Or kind of being or catching a solid team. Now, if I end economy not from Ghana, the West, you neighbors, and now for your currency, Oko Africa, you talk so far, your West, what does to say? You're to Abama, where you be table. Upon the Okafaya and Sana me Bamu, and yet the amount in the Kasa, your Bakasama MPP and Sana me Bamu. The normal will can you need Nasa Bawumia, and the results only at Yanga. It is the results to say, and the young team Bobby Sawo, capital market bill. Dr. Martin, and this Abrasoni, Bobby said to buy a Eurobond, Namuji, and Namuji Echina. And for the first time, under Bawumia and Adono. Your public, your foreign debt interest crying to me. And for the first time, Ghana, Yabakosemunu, Yaya haircut to Ghana. What it is, and it's a Yapapa pensioners, bond holders near that, or more interest in even or more capital crying to me. Yes, it's every 2026 in your best at your money. And the Yako sector, under the leadership of Mahamoud Bawumia Nana Akufano, and you justify fair. So what to a man UK win? That's a prime minister not to me at any corner. And inflation rate up at 2%. Economy basoro. Unemployment rate ye will kruma. Now we'll say one no cry you see to a Betiana. How do you justify Ghana there? Are we sick or what? Don't we think of the future?
Easy.
This is the truth I keep people saying. And Bawumia knew the pressure that was coming. In fact, he knew that there is the demonstration coming. He knew people will be getting opportunity to ask him a question. When he said this is UK, he cannot run away from the questions.
You think that you think that the excuse you had, he has to go back and he doesn't have any meaningful ground.
So what? First of all, Tina, organize this event. if Bawumia himself that minute or be pull out, now after Nimakin someone tell me the reason for organizing in the event in the first place. Because Bawumia said this is UK, people will be asking questions. Even of one MPP party Ghana, Eda Omakoma Sono, I want patriotic as they call themselves. They will ask questions here, Dr. Rain and Dr. Morton, many will come once. So this is very important. I think I'm able to stand a credibility issue because some know can say, but we need credibility.
So
when it comes to
Obia and Tone into Mango public, obviously he is not going to accept how you address him. Say he's not a credible answer. Somebody you doubt.
But Mama Wunjira, so I have given you a point, Mama, and Marano Casa when the fundamentals are weak and the exchange rate to expose you.
Yeah, but what will you be expecting as an answer from him?
The answer is no, because he has no answer. So our answers are 170 answers now. Then vice president.
And you think he's going to? And you think he's going to admit, say, well, I've let you down as vice president.
And only idea white for you, and only idea advanced country for you. You admit a certain challenge in your but when in BB and Sana Messi for this MPP government 8 years in power no. There is nothing a day I've admitted to say, this thing here, we could have done it better. From Galamse excavated seas, Equaya Fanswa and the Yensua say Ghana, Equaya and Fanswa, even included just an answer what to say, I say, global way before, a yana on my draw free, Mebwa. And dry a yama free na Ababeka Habo for 1 year. It takes the media and the opposition to voice out. Just under the chia, I don't know really to say on the
all right, so I'll tell you 1 minute.
And this is the Abaya. Yakan Rasamutra say, one Bibiano they have failed. So Ghanaians don't have any you may be an MPP. By clearly, MPP under the Nakufadu Bawumia way there. When him say, no, over for, and no, over 2 for because they have 10 times. Upside down, I'm Ghana and Timu, and on the Eka and a guy, intimate will be our Tikruma or be our UK. No one knew the air, because we cut democracy at the air. Some are more than ya punish so. Name more country affair because of say MPP, because of some more of a chair, or we are taking chair, or would dear, or when you my dear chair will be empty. My young punish on who poor, no, who send it up one to the Ghana. Because as we are okay, we didn't cancel back to our winning TV or back at the mommy or daddy, you are not making sense.
All right, thank you very much, Salatu.
Dr. Martin, make all the figures are maybe worse on because so be better no back at the
don't worry, I'll get
but we are no more why you know. Say a positive and unemployment rate basis. Dollar to the CD rate, but I never remember that you can tell on the good for oil and the good for oil now on the Amano. And $1 now is stable. Has dollar been stable? Dr. Martin, you didn't come or help me. Has the dollar been stable?
I think I'll leave that. Anytime I comment, the reason sometimes I refuse to respond to any comments. Anytime I see anything, I don't know. I'm ascribed to be somebody who belongs to a party A or party B. So I'm sorry, I don't want to talk. Anyway.
Okay, I heard you. So before I land, this is the government. They don't know what they are doing anymore. It's high time, 7th December, when the Ghanaians got the opportunity. They're supposed to send them home for them to go and prepare well, so that if they have the opportunity again by 30 years, they can make sure that they put their house into order.
All right. Now let me get an answer. Let me get an answer to you. You're wondering why you couldn't have time to ask Bawumia questions. Bawumia should be back. The reason you didn't get Bawumia to ask him questions, you assume and say, it was what's the word? Was a mastermind to have returned back to Ghana. Bawumia would be back. As requirement to return to Ghana supersedes the town hall meeting. Anyway. Good night.
Thank you.
Oba, I am critical.
Very critical. And I like it when both parties are at one another's throat.
Well, so because the opposition does not trust the incumbent government, there's always the issue.
There you go.
Oh, and see. Good evening, Chairman.
Oh.
I'm like, Kasaria, you don't listen to what goes on. So about to me, I'm a pro minimum. And
What you making me sorry. I mean, they were live
no. I mean, I'm talking after one another. So the thing is, and you have to go and listen to whoever is next on the link I sent to you.
I see. Manchester, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Did it get interesting?
It is still getting interesting.
Very interesting.
According to Sabatun, Bawumia's excuse to go back to Ghana, as you know, was just a mastermind to run away from the assumable questions, if you want. And I don't want to be a fan.
Well, maybe he doesn't know.
Anyway, so what the news to you when you're there? Bawumia had to go to Ghana for some reason. The reason he went is very, very important. Probably for a political reason. And I had a political assignment here. But according to Sabaton, which I assume there might be the ideology of most NPP leaders, they had questions for him. Until a while, there's nothing important or he asked. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come here in the first place. The uncle, the ball is in your court.
No. Normally, when they come, they only meet NPP members. And see, they wouldn't expect any other political party member to confront them. Ikufuadu did the same. You remember? When we were at the radio station, he came to Westminster, my own church. Ikufuadu came there. I didn't have access to that place. Every people when we were surrounded. So no, it's a Ghanaian thing. It's one of the developed countries things. The American, I think the most important thing is what I've said. We want Ghana to be a progressive country. I say, yeah, also go to oxygen. I'm mean people watch on oxygen. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Ghana government, Ministry of Health, or Nipa Yara, yes, I will do use oxygen. So be it. Why do you ask some people to go and buy oxygen? Mrs. Law, baby. A year or two, I didn't know, baby. No,
sorry.
You can go to oxygen. Walk to oxygen by a week. Oxygen, they keep in the hospital, they pass it around, they use it for their private business. It's not good because the family we didn't receive the oxygen back. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are all tricks by the Ghana government. In Yemen, so they do it. Oxygen for what? The Ghana government, Ministry of Health, must provide the oxygen. And it's not you and me. King's College Hospital here, they do not ask you to go and buy oxygen. It's only Ghana. Even hospital beds are filthy. You're going to bring your own bed sheets and all that to the hospital. It's not good for all of us. The same mistakes are being made all the time. That's why we want to change, proper change. As Mr. Stammer is saying here, they want to change from the old order of conservative. They've been there for 14 years and nothing has happened. That's why they are going to win, Labour. And that's why NPP is going to lose for NDC in the meantime.
You reckon?
Yes, of course, yes. Of course, yes. Because you have killed Ghanaian businesses because of political reasons. Now, also, you are not replacing with anything. Whenever I go to Ghana now, they are all unemployed. It may be annual with the Ubutu apply. Do you understand? They are unemployed and they do not receive unemployment benefit. I mean, come on, 9 years not the bank. I'm going to introduce you Social Security to Ghana. Almost, he was going on to develop it into unemployment benefit and all that. No, we'll remove it. We'll remove and one for being name. Because Social Security, they think it's another form of tax for government. Government is happy receiving taking social security. Nkrumah's plan was developing into British unemployment benefits. The same, why did they not offer the? Oh, Radia Cooper, I'm sorry. Scotland have lost.
You're very well.
Because Scotland has lost. That's the end.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. They have
lost.
Last
time I was school never bowler.
That's it.
I was school never bowler. Never position never. And oh, I see. Maybe there, Mr. Upon, not never being Yama pass. Mr. Upon.
Mr. Upon, or two left legs.
I broke my Pimka crab archer years ago.
Yes. Oh, God. So, that's what we're talking about, Dr. Morty. We want a real development in Ghana. We want help and support for our farmers. I tell you, when the rainy season comes, our farmers, they suffer because the farms get, the trucks don't want to go to the farmlands to carry goods into the marketplaces. You see, they have to carry it on their head. Primitive times, we are still having the same primitive farming system in Ghana. You see, they always lose 50% of their farm produce. So tomatoes now, 50% will go rotten because there are no trucks will come to the farmlands to carry them to the marketplaces. These are some of the issues we have. We have no storage facilities. Come build silos, storage facilities. You will cancel the silos, the food, the reservation facilities. I don't know what that is going. I expect the MPP to have improved on what Nkrumah did, but it has become a kind of culture. That when Party A comes to power, it ignores Party B's movements. The same things happening, and people are educated. People are informed. So I don't know what the education is going to be. Bawumia is going to touch PhD, God knows what. Bawumia came here when he was made a deputy, God knows, vice president of Ghana. About for a hip replacement. Obalanda for hip replacement. They need disease on clothes. The rumors is that it was a hip replacement in UK, over here. It's about 8 years ago or 7 years ago. He came here for hip replacement. I don't want them the medical operation or whatever. Why don't want Ghana? Because I have seen in Ghana is watching. And the same thing is what we are observing. But we are going to put them right this time. She said the third force of the political parties, they are angry, and they are angry, and we are getting organized to go into this election. This election is going to produce a different set of results.
So have you now PPP? I know that you were working in chambers and behind closed doors. So have you let your plans laid bare now? Is your plans known to the public now?
The public is going to be aware of our alliance in a few weeks' time. In a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
Before the end of July.
Okay.
Because we still got a lot of time to go for December elections. So if we rush to do things up, you rush to get it wrong.
Okay.
If we rush to do things up, you are going to get wrong. We don't want to get it wrong. That's why I say careful planning shall prevent pathetic performance. Alliance, to do alliance, it needs a lot of thinking and careful planning. That's what the stage at which we are now. Whether to go in alliance with NDC, which is a great possibility, because the same thing happened. CPP, we went into alliance with the Kufuor and MPP at that time. That's why to get rid of Rollins. That time we lose the balls. He didn't even know his left from right at that time. Then he was a confused man. Actually, Rollins has not got any good intelligence in his head.
Oh,
apart from flying planes in the sky. But what you proper, you need base beer, what you drink in the man, you know. He thought he can bluff his way around, and then all this stage there, he cannot go any further at all. The international community told him that, my friend, go for elections. We want a civilian government. They force him. The other man to hand over PNDC, to hand over. They say we don't want to repeat the same mistakes all the time. So it is likely we are going into alliance with NDC. Just watch the space. You see that all the smaller parties, when we get together, go into alliance with these people to make sure we get rid of NPP, because they have done this service to Republic of Ghana and the Ghanaians. When you go to the airport today, you see people coming in to the United Kingdom, not for fun or for holidays, but for medical, further and better medical treatment. What should it be so? Why should it be so? Sikapia, gold, manganese, bauxite, when your skin was going, and people follow kids, they keep this money abroad. Canada, Japan said it. They keep the money in Canada, in the USA, in the United Kingdom. Houses, cash in hand, houses for themselves. They distribute it, they share it among themselves. For that time, all this or all these guys. I mean, I achieve mafia. They share it among themselves. No, it's an open secret. But we must stop them in their own tracks. But that's what they have done for us. Otherwise, in Ghana, it would have been a better place. Should have been a better place. If you're Accra, I was no Accra. Go to outside, go to Ashanti region, Western region, and all that. Go on your cocoa, we have Accra. Gold mines now, Konongo or Wasi, Tapa, Pristia. No, there's no gold mines in Accra. There's no manganese in Accra. There's no bauxite in Accra. There is no diamonds in Accra. Nina, Akutia, and all that places they are. And why should these people, these areas, be more places? Dr. Morton, we don't understand it. It doesn't make good sense at all. And those of us who believe in God, we are doing this justice to God himself. God has blessed us with all these things, but we don't respect God. Yet we think we are the best worshippers of God. Of course, yes. Go to South Africa. South Africans bring businesses into Ghana. If you go to Ghana today, the football matches we are watching right now, the European Cup, the tournament that's taking place now. If you're in Cape Coast right now, you can go on there, you subscribe, and you can watch it live. Why? All imported from South Africa. South African companies organize all these sports events, international, global sports events. Ghana, what the businesses we take to South Africa, Dr. Morton, I don't know if you are aware, it's only we export gold to South Africa. All the Ghanaian businesses in South Africa are one-man churches that are flourishing there. And when they get their monies, their collections, they do not come to declare to a government of Ghana. They are talking of gross domestic product, economic growth and all that. This is part of it. We wanted this one.
All right, Chairman, with 2 minutes. Watch out.
Yeah, we want this one-man churches to report to us, the accountant general, that we got 2 billion Ghana cedis or South African rand from our investment of gold in South Africa. Then we get somewhere. These are the critical issues that we must think about, and we have not got there yet. So anybody listening to me, come into alliance with us. We go into alliance with the NDC to get rid of this government. This is not doing us any goodness at all.
All right.
We are serious about it. If every serious Ghanaian must agree.
All right.
With what I'm saying.
Thank you, Chairman. That's an incredible contribution. Go on.
Yes.
Chairman Chairman say, one thing about Chairman, he believes in planning.
Yes.
It has to be carefully planned. And so, should we assume the government at the moment is not planning? And what's the problem then?
Well, the government.
Chairman, maybe you have to listen to the other side. Anyway, you have about 10 minutes to go, so I'd have to use the line to call somebody again, just like you've been doing.
Sure. Okay.
And
So
thank you. Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The government had their own plan.
Let me get Sabato, and then I get Gabo, and then I get Mambadu.
The government had their own plans, and which they have implemented for the 7.5 years. But then they seem to be looking at the world economy, because anytime I listen to anytime I listen to say Gabo and a few of the NPP people, they're always talking about Ukraine war. They are talking about what again is that?
What effect does they mean? Did they talk about the Ukraine war? You don't think it has any bearing with?
No, it shouldn't have any bearing with our economy.
But another said it's all part of the reasons. Earlier,
that's the excuse they are given. But that's what I'm saying. If they have kept to their plans, their manifesto, probably things would have worked better for them. But then they're looking everywhere, and they've lost it. They lost it, really. And that's why they are keeping to excuses. And I'm sure Segabo will come and tell us.
Okay,
more.
Over. Gopon said he doesn't understand the mathematics of how the Ukraine and all that comes as part of the reasons why
and I say, I want to say that it is very true. 2017, 2020, the growth rate of Ghana's economy, was on the average of 8%. It was the fastest growing economy in the world, not Africa. I repeat, between 2017, 2017, shortly that we took over, so 2019, getting to 2020, Ghana's economy was the fastest growth economy in the world. It is well documented everywhere. Website, everywhere. It is there, well documented. Except those who don't want to believe it. So when you explain that from 2020 down the hill here, we're having these problems from COVID, effects of COVID and Ukraine war. Except those who are not reading around, those who don't want to believe, wouldn't believe. World Bank is telling the whole world that world economy will rebound in the informal glory by 2020, 2025. The effects of COVID, people can get out. They can wean themselves off from the effects of COVID until 2025. So if it is happening to a country like Britain here, and other advanced countries with trillions of dollars of gross domestic product, how much more Ghana, $80 billion economy. There's one thing I want Ghanaians, people who are listening to me, to bear in mind. This first quarter of this country, the growth rate in this country, 0.6%. 0.6%. The Sunak is rejoicing at number 10 Downing Street. 0.6%. Otherwise, they have just escaped recession. They just escaped recession. Why? Because of effects of COVID, effects of Ukraine. I mean, some trappings of Brexit. And so they are happy. Ghana, 4.9% growth rate in the midst of crisis. This is from the government statistician. These figures are not cooking it. Are not like the people who's come on radio station and tell like, I don't do that. 4.9% growth rate from the Ghanaian statistics here. Just released about 2 weeks ago. One of the newspapers. I think Dr. Morton, I sent you a copy of that.
You did, yeah.
4.9% growth rate. And the reason why when Ghana achieved 4.9% growth rate, people may not have the ripple effect. It will not trickle down to other Ghanaians is that the base, our GDP base, the base is weak, $80 billion. So any growth is now going down to expand the base a bit. But here, 0.6%, because the base is in trillions of dollars, 0.6% growth rate will have a positive impact on any person living in this country. Any person living in this country, it will have effect because they have a big base of gross domestic product. That's what people are saying. Do people understand the things we are talking about? Some people have turned themselves to Aristotle. Aristotle was known as someone who knows everything. Some people have turned themselves to be Aristotle. There are some people who have not even read a page of any economic development of any country. Nothing. They still talk about economics. And then at Ghana, lawyers, let's just Ghana for economics. Lawyers, I've ended Ghana, Martin Peginum, and let's just Ghana for economics. So now, or specific and another from Mrs. Obertani, the structure of a Ghanaian economy, what you mean, look at that. Look at him. A lawyer saying this. Changing the structure of Ghanaian economy within 4 years, a developing country. Do you understand what you're talking about? Take your law for a law, baby. Take your law to the law court and define your people. Don't bring your law into the arena of economics. You know, do nothing there. Ghana for the I think Ghana for you. It has to be your lawyer. Near Ukra. Doesn't want it. Oh, my area. But they will consult a medical doctor who's an expert in his own area. Obi your law case. Dr. Martin Pegu. Ghana lawyers. And will be of course be a psychology being a economic issue. No nature. That's what I tell you. That is why Mahama is bringing 24-hour economy to Ghanaians. It is bogus. It is not economics. It has nothing to do with economics. It is an outcome of a process. Do people understand what they talk about? This is the issue. And I'm just saying that Chairman Yossin, Ekasu, MPP, demolish this business. But Dr. Martin, I beg to differ. I so disagree with you, Mr. Yossin. I need MPP and other sort of businesses. You know, when this sort of business Ghana cried here, business Ghana there. When one is best into the Ghanaian community to what? One of the biggest social change that's happening in Ghana. One of the biggest social change in Ghanaian history, apart from Kwame Nkrumah leading us to get independence for Ghanaians, is always best into the 1981 political scene. Process and chasing businessmen. Look at what he said in Kumasi. Don't vote for don't buy chickens on your scale or the better party. Don't to appeal so on your scale or better party. Look at this. He destroyed Ghanaian enterprises and enterprises. People run away from Ghana. And the people say Kusindium. And the people say Oforiata, I respect them. They came to Ghana in the early 90s. Ghana. They came there to set up businesses. I don't go into Akasindium's business while they fell apart. I don't go in there here now. And this was a problem somewhere. Hello, Ghanaians. Hello. Let's stop this jealousy. Here for the track record. Oforiata went to Joseph Oforiata when you have first class economics. One of Ghanaians there, when you have first class on records, Joseph Oforiata. Opa. He was a deputy finance minister of Busi at that time. Or you see Opa performance as a role model to motivate you to learn very hard. Then he went to the States. He attended 2 top universities in America, 2 of the Ivy League universities. Ghana, our states. Wow. The America's top universities, 8. Oforiata, he attended 2 of them. He went to Wall Street in New York. Wall Street, Washington, he came to Ghana to employ the fathers of production to set up data bank, running this company for 20 years. 20 years. In the early 1990s. Oforiata will be a interview. I interview World Bank Director, I interview President Kufu, I interview Kosindium, writing in Ghana. I say, young man in Ghana, going to Accra to interview people. He was always busy. About for court office, Koba. Ufrata by finance minister. And then they have studied got their profession leading. If there were to be any establishment in Ghana, who should be leaders? Ufrata and go for. Almost one of you be a second. Nanado, Wakum, go for training. I mean, your people, yes, Moyano. The man in the bio could be a school view.
About 3 minutes. What 3 minutes?
The man in the bio and Oma could be a school free. Measure, Okom cross a crown. Yanko Pisia, in Krasny Ocean, Yanko Bossy, Yanko could be a severe. So Papa no Mamma do Cosen School. O classmate, you know, one man pass or pass a common trans, one you be a copy and go deposit. One man Cosen School, one man commercial school, or commercial school. So if you poke if you pump a banana for your first time one. O cousin, who schoolmate and co primary school, who won't organic, Adenta, or no papa and yes, half an uncle school, one uncle school, won't organic. It's not too passive level. A passes from the another good university. Who come across a crowd, one class with an inside them, who won't organic. Campus was a bubble tree. Star stigma, Nana do not be a few. And conform when you can't cost secondary school, the baby generation of people. Nana do not be sad in a few. When you are satire, a time when you flow. And only for the attack. And we'll see the top investors. About the data bank, I plan go for 20 years span, running 20 years of data bank. It's all a financing tower. Yes, sir, Nanado, why ye be papa. Nanado, the best president of ever, why ye be papa. Was it gonna first come? You didn't even go school. Oh, you go school. Say, Nanado, you feel just grammar, and come organ, no, you get a home. Can anybody imagine, sir, Sabri?
All right, so go 1 minute.
And go to school fees. 1
minute.
Can anybody imagine? And I mean, me coach you, I better answer. What's it? The best form of intelligence is imagination, not knowledge. And then I Ghana for him say, Ghana deal. Because I've been another 1 5 HS, VHS, and this is one, and you have a few parliament. Almost time a bill, oh my God, who is 1 bomb Messeno? 1 bomb Messeno, therefore. Don't vote for NDC. We should take them away from office. We take them away from office. Yeah, in the midst of crisis, Ghana's economy is growing 4.9%. Current government association, 4.9%, even higher than this country. The reason why I said Ghana 4.9%, you know, I said Ghana for so to say, the base in this $80 billion economy. And the 4.9%, you know, I think the echo base one across the base, you know, and the only people affected here and the next several years. Now, Sabato say, I eat about many credibility. What a joke. About many credibility. Wako primary school, Ghana, called Sakasako Primary School, who said they called Tamalisian School. Abesako Oxford. Eba Kruma said being first class in economics. About PhD or Canada. About Ghana, Ghana.
Oh, guys, who can see video. Yes,
I'm become a credibility. What my best animal, Dr. Nabodi Nanyako, it did Dr. Nyako. Obey your Ghana and Ghana card. Ghana card, no Muslims in Guam, not a Malafo, Sakra no for years to Ghana card. We're not living knowledge-based economy. And go for the market in Yasa, and not such a Britain, and your better. And go for the woman Yasa market. And I'm a but what has done for her? Doesn't want it. Vice President of Ghana, I had to say, well, credibility. But what can I say? When the essay rate is weaker, the city was responsible. What he said since 10 years ago was true. It is true today. Ghana is a developing country. Do people understand what they talk about? Do people understand what they comment about? Do people understand what they talk about?
I'm saying a time or
so. Do people understand what they talk about? What he said was true. It's true today. The developing country, weak economic base. Yes. And this before. I got to energy, the worst energy deal, no? Or take it, you know. I hear $1 billion interest rate. The town and they say, wait, the town. Take or pay. Deal on what I am. I didn't use so much as I would do. It did $1 billion every year on interest rate. How do you expect the Ghanaian saying rate? What's on your bay? It's a typical case of a developing country.
Thank you.
Do people understand what they're saying? You see, I need to watch your book. Watch your book. 24-hour economy. A audacity of deception. Barack Obama and my Ghana or my American phone was the audacity of.
I'm saying time
audacity of deception. You will not read the book. You won't read it. But there's bogus. Anything for they should stay away. Free HS. Imagination is better than knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm saying a time I have been to know. I say many do last one. Then you quit, baby. A time say I can say 5 more minutes. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. 9:30. I think to be fine. Yeah, hello, my buddy. You want to give us the last word, please?
Yeah, how many minutes have I got? Because I carried over 2 minutes.
Well, you have up to 5 minutes at least. Yeah, but we decided to take it to 9:30 because of the time. So, yeah, it says I got the final,
Nadaba Segabu, na kids is anti-alliance now. Eh?
Well, I did, but my there. Finally, it looks like he doesn't understand people if they deny such, help from the NPP, which I know that you agree with him, but he seems to wonder how come we don't see the walls, the writings on the wall.
I agree with anybody who backs a 4-legged horse. That's all. Now, like I said, I will implore us all to find time and go through the developments in all regions. Some of the things, these things are happening, but we don't get it. Sabato, Ranka Dede, Inagenswa. Now, Bolgatanga, for instance, a report on YouTube, Austin there, Okro, Bolgatanga in the morning, or during the day, or Accra. The only difference is that Bolgatanga is so disciplined. No hawking on the streets. Imagine. Let's not look at the northern regions like we used to think about them in the past. And then the people are going to Hajj. Have you seen anybody sleeping at Kotoka International Airport or anywhere? No. Because everybody has got places, hotels have been built. So you stay there overnight or how many days before your flight to Saudi Arabia. And your improvement. Look at the interchange in Tamale. Look at people who have taken up to farming because when we're there, they have to develop the area themselves, not wanting to come to the south. Look at some of my brothers who are from the north. They come to the south, and when they are going back to the north, and they start changing from their V8s and taking ordinary buses. Who are you deceiving? Didn't it take this government in the name of Nanado to have another look and say, look, until the north is developed, Ghana, Accra is going nowhere. Look at what he has done. Now, for example, I was saying that why is the alternative party, the NDC, what's happening to their active campaign? Why again are they wasting time of their constituents and following an alleged fraudster in a court case? She has said what could do a court. It will be sub judice for us to discuss it. But some of these things which are already in the public domain, like mostly a third witness, she most of the papa do. All you need to do. Now, why follow something like this? They're talking about silos, brother Keith. With the program of food and jobs, the silos have been built. We have got maize all year round. It is the discipline that should be exerted on the people who are selling these things at high rates because they have heard that the dollar has gone up. What has that got to do with the bags of corn you are going to collect, which was stored a year ago? Short of caning them, which is barbaric, there should be education by the civic center to let these people know the dollar has got nothing to do with you. Your stock is from Ghana. It's all stock. You pay this price for it. What has making it go up? You want to inconvenience your citizen. What has that got to do with it? Why are we all chasing this dollar, for heaven's sake? Now, where is the manifesto of the alternative political party? Where is their manifesto? Because our worries is in the public domain. What you need to do? Let somebody come and tell us what he will do more better than the 24 economy that we have already in place. At the time, then to go to my store in Ghana, now your mobile transfer. It doesn't stop at midnight. It's ongoing. Our hospitals are open. I don't know which one. Now, unless these things that Bawumia is putting in place, if they all succeed, now that is the economy, the 24 economy. You can apply for your passport, say, anytime. You can buy electricity anytime. They should move on and bring another manifesto to us home. If you criticize, you must have your friend some answers, some pertinent criticize the economy. What can you do better? Come and say it. I don't believe in, let's not go into the archives and pick up anything. You don't come into government because you are come to criticize what somebody has done. You came because you can do better. So you do better.
All right.
It's Dr. Morton. Next week is
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mamadou. Have a good night. Thank you. Over. I'm Sam Renaissance. Thank you very much for your diverse contribution. Hopefully we'll be here next week, Sunday evening. You have a good night.